Hey guys, how's it going? It's Thang here. So welcome back to another build video. So today in this video we are looking at the Monks in a Mantra's Mystic Ally build. Pretty much you're utilizing the Mystic Ally to do all the damage really, while you yourself build up the damage multiplier. So when Conventions of Elements hits water or close to hitting water, you have a whole shit ton of damage multiplier ready to go. Apply Exploding Palm all over the place as much as you can. Hit that Mystic Ally button and boom, everything just pretty much explodes on the screen, and that's how that build works. So we're gonna go into the gears and everything after this little demo video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So welcome back. We're going to start off with starts priority first. So the main stat priority is going to be cooldown reduction. We want at least 55 to 60% cooldown reduction so that we can synchronize up with the Conventions of Elements when it hits water or cold damage. That's when our main burst is going to come from, when the allies kill all the mobs, and then the Exploding Palm pretty much explodes and spreads around. You know how that works, right? Next stats priority is going to be cold damage plus cold damage as high as possible. Exploding Palm is next, as high as possible again. And then the other main stats is going to be critical hit chance and critical hit damage. And then it's going to be, you know, all resist, armor, and that whole shebang. Don't worry about attack speed because we're going to be using a legendary gem to increase our attack speed. And that's pretty much stats priority. Alright, so now for our gears, we are going to be using the full 6-piece set bonus of In a Mantra. We're not using the Ring of Royal Grandeur. If you want to, you can to switch out another gear. That's up to you, but this is pretty good in itself. So we're going to be using the In a Mantra's full piece set, which means we're going to be using the helm, the gloves, the chest piece, the pants, the Daibo, and lastly is the belts right there. So we're going to be using, we get the 6-piece set bonus, which means the 2-piece set is increase the passive effect of your Mystic Ally and the base effect of your Mantra by 100%, so everything is doubled. And then 4-piece set, gain the base effect of all 4 mantras at all times. So this little icon right here, when you hover over it, you see all 4 mantras. That means they're all active at all time, and their passive effect is also doubled as well, okay, because of the 4-piece set bonus. Or was it the 2 set piece bonus? Sorry, my mistake. Okay, and then the 6-piece set bonus, gain the 5 rune Mystic Allies at all time, and your damage is increased by 50% for each Mystic Ally you have out. So that means we have all 5 Mystic Allies out at the current time being, which means that 5 times 50 is 250% increase in damage. So that is really great for a 6-piece set bonus. So that means that our next item is going to be the Crudus Boots, which doubles the Mystic Allies that we have out. So instead of 5, we have 10, which multiplies into 500% increase in damage in itself. And not only that, but the Mystic Ally's power is already doubled. It's going to be doubled again thanks to the Crudus Boots. So that means your damage, your HP, your life regen, the other one, I forgot the other 2, I'm so sorry, is going to be doubled as well. So that is really awesome. Really awesome right there. And I think I did a showcase on it, which is really cool. Okay, so the next item we need is going to be Lefebvre's Soliloquy right here. I think I pronounced it that way. Soliloquy. So what that does is Cyclone Strike reduces your damage taken by X amount. So 40 to 50. I got 40, which kind of sucks for 5 seconds. So whenever you do Cyclone Strike right now, you'll see that little buff icon above it. That is when you are reducing damage. Okay? So it will indicate that. When it's done, you just do it again. just so that you will have that damage reduction. Okay, so that's there for you, which actually synergizes with the next item, which is Bindings of the Lesser Gods. So enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take an X amount increase in damage from your Mystic Eye for 5 seconds. So min is 150, max is 200. So whenever you do Cyclone Strike, which reduces your damage but also increases the damage done to enemies by your Mystic Ally, for 5 seconds. So that's really cool right there. So you want to pull in as much mobs as you can in a huge space constantly like that without running out of spirit. Okay, just don't run out of spirit. So those two synergize with each other with your Mystic Allies. So your Mystic Allies, which is pretty much gonna kill everything. Okay, next is going to be the Unity Ring, which of course helps us to survive. No brainer there. You can choose something else if you want to, but honestly, Unity Ring, you should have that. Lastly is going to be the Traveler's Pledge with the compass rose right here to increase our damage when we're standing still, and when we're walking, increase our survivability. So let's say that you've pulled all your mobs in, right? The best strategy is pulling all of them in and waiting until the water right there, water of Conventions of Element, pops out, or when it's in physical, stand still a little bit to increase this damage buff right here, and then pop your Mystic Ally so that you get the maximum as much as possible. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the gear. So let's go into legendary gems. The one we're using is going to be the Pain Enhancer. So critical hits causes the enemies to bleed for X amount. Weapon damage has physical over 3 seconds. And then gain Bloody Frenzy, granting you 3% increased attack speed for each bleeding enemy within 20 yards. So that's why we don't worry about attack speed. So we're constantly critting. That means that we're constantly increasing our attack speed, which means that we can spread Exploding Palm really fast, or as much as we can. Okay, so that we're going to be using that. Next is going to be the Bane of Trap, no brainer there, increases your damage by X amount. Lastly is going to be the Bane of the Stricken right here. This will help us kill the pretty much the Rift Guardian faster. You can use Bane of Powerful, but it won't be as effective, trust me, over time. And then we're going to be using the Flawless Royal Gem for our helm. Okay, so lastly, now you can either use the green gems, emerald gems, or the diamond gems for your normal stats. If you feel like you need to survive a little bit more, then use the diamond gems, which gives you more increase in toughness for your resistance right here. But if you feel like you can survive without it, then use the emerald gems to increase your damage and your toughness as well. Okay, I chose more of tankiness for survivability, so I use diamond gems. So that's up to you for your discrepancy, but I prefer survivability. And then we're gonna use the green gems for our weapon. So that's there. Next is going to be the Kunai Cube. Okay. So this is pretty much a no-brainer because where it's pretty much Exploding Palm, you want the Fist of Astarask right here, which actually has been increased, I think last patch or this patch, to 300% instead of just 200%. So it's been more powerful. And then next is going to be the Gundle gear right here for bracers. So Exploding Palms on death explosion applies Exploding Palm. So we just need to apply Exploding Palm to the smallest mob, the mob that has the least amount of HP, as much as we can, so that when they explode, they just pretty much explode everywhere, and everything. So you can pretty much destroy an elite pack in one swoop. And then lastly is Conventions of Element to increase our water damage. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let's move on. Alright, so for Paragon levels, we're going to be matching our movement speed with the one we have from our ring and our boots to 25%. So let's match that. There you go. And the rest is going to be in dexterity, increase in damage, and toughness. Alright, if you feel like you need more survivability, then go with vitality if you choose to. It's up to you. There you go. And then offensiveness is going to be cooldown reduction, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and then lastly is attack speed. And then defense is going to be resist all, armor, life regen, and lastly is going to be life. And then utility is going to be either area damage or life on hit first, and then resource cost reduction, and then gold fine is last, because really, who needs more gold, right? For our skills, we're going to be using the Way of 100 Fists with Assimilation. So unleash a rapid series of punches that strikes enemies for X amount of damage. As physical, each enemy hit with the third hit increases your damage by 5% for 5 seconds. So this pretty much stacks up as many per the third hit. If you can hit up to 20 targets, then that's going to be multiplied by 5% each target. So 250%. Let's just say that. Or is it 200? Yeah, no. 50%. Sorry, my bad. Increase in damage, right? So you want to always be using this before the Conventions of Elements hits water. So this will amplify your damage even more. Okay, so that's how that works. Then we're going to be using Epiphany with Desert Shroud for survivability. Exploding Palm Impending Doom is where our main damage is always going to be with the mob damage or area damage anyway. Mystic Ally, we want to use the Water Ally because it has the most top highest damage, and it's also cold, and it freezes enemies as well. Okay, so for our Dashing Strike, we're using Blighting Speed just so that we have more toughness. Okay, and lastly is going to be Cyclone Strike with Implosion to pull mobs even further away. This is the biggest one, so you can pull mobs further from you. So that's why we want to use Implosion versus the other ones. Okay, so for passive, seize the initiative. So dealing damage to enemies above 75% increases your attack speed by 30% for 4 seconds. So that's why we want that there. Next is going to be Unity. Each ally affected by your mantra increases your damage by 5% up to maximum of 20% and has 5% increased damage. So because we have so many out there, this is going to be maxed out. Next is going to be Harmony. Now you don't have to use Harmony. You can always use Near-Death Experience if you really want to, or even Sixth Sense right there. That's your choice. But Harmony will increase all of our resistance by 40%. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use that. And lastly is going to be Beacon of Yitar. No brainer there. Reduces your cooldown reproduction by 20%. Okay, so that's our skills. Alright, so lastly, we're going to be using the Templar for our followers for increase in survivability so that he can heal us and save us from time to time. Now, if you don't want to use the Templar, you can always use the Scoundrel to increase your critical hit chance if you really want to, but I would recommend the Templar. Now, even if, let's say, you use other followers, you will always want to use the S of Johan right here, just so that you can pull mobs in where he is. So that is a really, really great thing, and because we are using a Unity Ring on ourselves, put one on him as well. And then you always want to use Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, so to decrease damage from mobs. And lastly is his Immortal Relic right there, so that he cannot die. Okay. For his skills, you want to use Heal, so he can heal you whenever. So it's like an extra potion. Okay. And then Life Regen right there. Then charges an enemy, dealing damage and stunning nearby enemies just to help you survive. And then lastly is Guardian. Whenever your life is low, the Templar will come to your aid, knocking back nearby enemies and healing you. So this is like another, you know, what the shit type of moments. Okay, so that's why we want to use that, and that's about it. So that is it for the build video. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the build itself. I know it's not new or anything, but I haven't played the monk in a while, and I actually do like this build. It's a little bit tricky to play at first, but it's pretty much fun when you get used to it. And hopefully you can play without lag. When I was doing this, it was like really super laggy. I don't know why it was super laggy, but it was still really fun to do. A lot of learning, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it, right? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would definitely be appreciated. Questions or comments, if you have them, leave them down below. And don't forget to press subscribe, and I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye!